Two things. I'm very proud of myself for joining the military. As you know, Randy and I were part of the United States Air Force, active duty. So it's a very proud accomplishment that I got to serve my country in a honorable way.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Earth 2.io Asia. This is my first video here, and I am so happy right now that and privileged that uh, I'm just hoping and praying that my English will catch up with them.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Very good so far.
English is good. Perfect.
and I'll just speak in Tagalog for a while. Sa inyong lahat na nanonood na sana hindi ako dito mahirapan, makasurvive ako dito sa English ko, and napakabuti na itong dalawa na to. These guys are, I would honestly say I look up to them very much because when they talk, when they speak, like Arya here, when he speaks, he gives me this sense of security. And when Randy Chavez, the real Randy Chavez, talks, he makes me imagine a lot of things. So, but anyway, guys, I will not be doing so much of the talking. Let's do a warm up first, because when they do their videos, they do not talk so much about themselves. They talk about how beautiful Earth 2 is, the future of E2, and a lot about E2. But let's get to know them a bit. First time that I met them, I do not know them. And they're nice enough to talk to stranger that has no hair. And decided
We're kind of well on our way.
And,
hide it as we can.
I'm just happy to know that they know they already met some Filipinos. Quick questions, and you can give your quick answers. Probably this will give us an idea what kind of personality or characteristics the Arya Realty and the real Randy Chavez have. I'll start with you, Arya. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
They were pretty strict, actually.
Like,
Yeah, very
1 to 10.
I would say probably like an 8.
Okay. How about you, real Randy?
Well, if you were to ask me that 2 years ago, I would have said an 8 or an 8.5. But then I found a subreddit on Reddit that said it was just Asian parents, and I did not know what some of you guys had to go through with, because apparently what they do is like their parents detail their kids' lives down to the minute, and just always studying constantly for like hours a day. And I'm like, oh my God, I had to give my parents a call and be like, I'm sorry for being such a bad kid when I was younger and disrespecting you.
Okay. What was your favorite toy growing up, Randy?
That probably would have been either my Game Boy Color or my Nintendo 64. One of those two.
Oh, I think that's a toss-up between, I think, PlayStation 2. I thought that was the coolest thing, or Super Nintendo, because I remember being super excited for both. Gamer at heart. Maybe that's why I like Earth 2.
Oh yeah. If you could time travel, where would you go? Or when would you go, rather? When would you go?
Oh, time travel. Would it be past or the future?
Past. Either.
I think I would pick, if I had to pick, in the future, because I want to see like all the technology and the gadgets, and maybe Earth 2 in the future. That would be great. In the past, probably like the founding fathers, 1776. That would be awesome for the birth of our country, America.
That's great. That's nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Randy?
That would be incredibly difficult. I'm going to be a little selfish with this one, assuming that we can't really change history. I want to know the conversation that my mother would have had with whoever she sought counsel with when she made the decision to give me up for adoption.
Oh.
I'm really curious to see, to hear like how that came about. So it doesn't really affect anyone else, but me personally, that's something I'd be very curious for.
They're close to heart, yeah.
My God, that kind of changed my mood now.
I'm so sorry. No, I mean, I want to go back to when I got my first dog because puppies. That's all.
Oh, okay. I don't want to dig in deeper into that. Okay.
No.
Real Randy, what's your best childhood memory?
It's probably, yeah, I'm gonna say when I got my first dog. That was amazing. Yeah, that just so many emotions I always wanted, and it's just I actually screamed and I scared I scared him. I was like, ah.
What breed was that?
It was a golden lab.
Ah, okay. All right. I have 4 dogs here. How about you,
Wow.
Arya?
Uh,
Best childhood memory.
yeah, probably when I also got my first dog. That's a big memory. But I also have we used to live next to horse stables when I was a child, so that was always fun hanging out at the horse stables and petting the horses and and then growing up and with the horses and everything. It's a great home that I had when I was a kid.
Okay. All right. What's your pet peeve, Arya?
Oh, pet peeve.
Yeah.
I think I have a lot of little knickknacks. I would say people who like misspell super simple words online. I'm just like, it's not spelled that way. Oh my god, drives me up a wall. I don't know why, but it does.
How about you, Real Randy?
I would say it's when somebody, because I do admire confidence, but I dislike it when someone tries to intelligently or tries to talk about something in which they're very uneducated about.
Oh
And
my.
it's like, oh, like I'm embarrassed, and I'm just like, yeah, just like that a lot.
My pet peeve is like when I'm working on my computer, it's somebody's behind me. I hate that. But anyway, what is the best piece of advice you've received, Randy?
I think it would be from my friend Vinny, which I don't know where he got it. He probably got it from somewhere else, but he said that the best investment you could make is in yourself, and the second best investment you could make is in other people, and that's always stayed with me for since like 2010, so a long time.
Oh wow, that's nice. That's great. How about you, Steve?
I would say something close to that. It's like usually worry about yourself and then not worry about what other people think of you. The people that want to be with you will make time to be with you. Don't try to be with people who don't want to be with you. Don't be with like toxic individuals. So if somebody hates you, just move on with your life. Don't let them live in your mind, rent free is a quote that some people say.
Wow, that's nice. If you had to pick a name for yourself, a new name for yourself, what would you pick, Arya?
Oh, I'll name myself Arya.
Ah, okay. How about you, Real Randy Chavez?
A new name for myself. Well, it would look kind of weird if I had like a white name and I named myself like Lance Barda, but I don't know, I like the name Lance, and I like Dragon Ball Z. So, and I like Goku's dad's name Bardock. So I was like, you know what? I'll name myself Lance Bardock.
Like that.
That's awesome. All right. What accomplishment are you most proud of, Real Randy Chavez? Of all that you've achieved, what are you most proud of?
The first thing that came to my mind was financial success, because I'm first generation immigrant from Peru, where I was born in a third world country, no hospital. I was born in a house with no roof. I was like, okay, it's a nice rags to riches story. But I think the thing I'm most proud of is the fact that throughout the success I've had the last few years, going from, not a lot to, having $500,000 in assets, is the fact that I still haven't changed. I still love people. I still love animals, and my goals to help animals haven't changed. So money hasn't changed me, and I think that's what I'm most proud of.
I'm so happy with my questions. You know why? Because I'm learning more of you guys, and I'm sure all the viewers right now are loving you more. You guys have been teaching us, making us understand Earth 2 more, and
Oh,
confident in what we're doing. But anyway, how about you, Arya? What accomplishment rather are you most proud of all the accomplishments that you've done?
I would say pretty much it's like a mixture of two things. I'm very proud of myself for joining the military. As you know, Randy and I were part of the United States Air Force, active duty. So it's a very proud accomplishment that I got to serve my country in a honorable way. And back when I was a kid, I made stupid kid mistakes, and I had like credit card debt, and I had all this stupid debt, and I was like, and then before when I was a kid, I was like making like minimum wage. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I got all this debt, and oh my god. And then I've drastically turned my life around, and now I have now I'm pretty well off, so I don't have any debt anymore. I drive a Tesla. You know, I'm very strong into Earth 2. So I think I flipped my life around from when I was a kid to now, like very strongly. So I guess that's my best accomplishment so far.
I love that. I love that. Since you both are from the military, so I'm sure you guys have been traveling. What's the most beautiful place you've ever been, Arya?
Beautiful place. I was actually impressed with Kuwait City when I was there. Randy was
Oh,
there too.
mm,
Yeah, at the same time, but we were in Kuwait. They have beautiful mosques and
oh,
everything. It's a drastic change from America.
oh, okay.
Yeah, they have I mean sand and everything, but it's beautiful. It's very beautiful there.
Yeah, Middle East is really beautiful. I've been to Dubai, Qatar, Bahrain, and yeah, I'm really amazed by those places. How about you, Real Randy? Hopefully, it's not Kuwait also.
no, no. Most of the Kuwait that I saw was just desert. It was just sand. Cue your Anakin Skywalker memes down below. But the one place that I thought, and this is a little more, I guess, vain or um, what have you on the surface, but Spain has the most beautiful people in the world. They are all just tall and beautiful, and they're just.
So like
I
you, Randy.
felt I felt so ugly when I was there, uh, but it was just yeah. The country was great, and it was Rota, Spain. So yeah, the country was great, and the people were fantastic. Good food. So I would say Spain. I'm going to skip to Aria Realty because I got to think about this on the
Okay,
spot.
All right, I'll take it
Arya.
up.
Yeah.
I'll take it up. Courageous thing, I would say it was a very great honor and for being part of the Air Force Honor Guard, if you
Wow.
know what that is. It's
Uh,
if you look up the Air Force Honor Guard, you can YouTube it or whatnot. It's very dressy, honorable people wearing a whole bunch of medals and ribbons and stuff, and they're flipping rifles and they go to funerals. So we send off past veterans. So we shoot rifles and fold flags and salute them and thank you for your service. And you know, sorry they passed away, but we're here to represent the fallen veteran or the veteran that died. So it's a very emotional honor that we can
ah,
do for people.
very noble at the same time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How about you, Real Randy? Have you thought of your most courageous thing?
Yes, and some might say that it was a stupid thing at the time because I was, in a way, kind of risking the military career. We in 2013 we were poised to go to war with Syria, and I thought it was wrong because at the time, the U.S. president could not go to war without a declaration of war, as per Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. So I went to a no war with Syria rally in New York City. I spoke there and I said, I am an active duty Air Force member, and I do not think we should be doing this. And
Oh,
thankfully, nothing came of that. But that was a thing that, had that gotten out at the time, would have been, if my commander had chose to, it could have been a career ender.
oh, wow. My most courageous thing that I've ever done as of date, well, this one. Talking to you both. You know what? I wanna like every time you guys answer, I wanna react to it, but the words that are in my head just don't come out of my mouth. I'm trying to compose the English. When you're
Yeah.
having a
Like,
bad day, when you're having
yeah.
a bad day, real Randy, what do you do to make yourself better?
I try to think of there's a manga series called Fruits Basket
Okay.
where this one character named Toru Honda, who had lost her mom a few months prior, and her grandpa said like, "Hey, we're doing construction on the house. Can you stay with a friend?" She has two friends, both of which she just doesn't want to inconvenience, so she doesn't even ask them.
Mm-mm.
And she sets up a tent by the river and is homeless for a little while. And I was like, okay, like if whatever I'm experiencing that day has it does not compare to other people in I'm still at least in America. I'm still at least in a first world country. This is would be considered a vacation and a day off to a lot of other people in the world, and that kind of helps me get out of it.
How about you, Arya?
Yeah, I would say it gets me out of that makes me get out of a bad mood. Talk to my friends or see all my sometimes there's comments and stuff on my channel from people who make me laugh, even negative or positive. I'm just like
Yeah.
all these people.
Yeah.
Like Randy was saying too, like I take it for granted because I'm just American. I mean, I've been here all my life. But when I see other people who are not as fortunate, like when I was overseas, that people are working like 16-hour days and making like $20 or something, like I'm fortunate enough to not be in that situation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's right.
but yeah, it's but yeah, I'm also just talking to positive people. You can keep your moods up.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah. That's what I do also. When there are negative comments, bashers, every time there is one, it helps the algorithm because
Yeah, it's a good idea.
yeah,
That's
because they're the ones that are very very active in putting out this negative comments. That's why it helps your content or your video or your picture to it's good for us. So you guys that are watching, please comment your most negative words and help us in the algorithm.
Come to
All
my
right.
channel and
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
crap.
Okay. What is the best excuse for being late that you've ever heard or used yourself? You heard from somebody and you used yourself. I'll start with you, real Randy Chavez.
uh, there was a meme I saw on Tumblr. Sorry, I'm just used to YouTube. Like, oh, I can't curse or I'll also get demonetized. Uh, it was this guy. He sent a photo to his boss saying, I'm gonna be late. There's a cat going on my car, and you see three cats on top of each other doing the thing. And I was like, oh my god! And the boss was like, yeah, that's fair.
I have nothing compared to that. That's all. I would say you got a lot of excuses when I was in the military. Just like people are just making random stuff up. I would say now he wasn't late. He just didn't show up at all.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. Now you're active duty and you're supposed to go to work by law because you're bound to the UCMJ. He just slept in and just didn't go to work for like 3 days. And he just kind of just chilling there. And he lived on base. And it was like, where is this dude? And then like 3 days later, we had staff sergeants and security forces like banging on his door and like broke his window to go into his house to see what's wrong with him. Like he was dead. No, he was just sleeping. Where do these people come from?
Okay. I'll insert this question. Why you guys left the military?
Okay, so you have the choice of signing up for 4 years or 6 years, and when you do that, they make you say like, okay, well, it's going to be an 8-year contract, and you're going to be active for this many years, and then you could either go reserve or you could go what's called individual ready reserve or the IRR, in which case you don't have to do anything, but they could call you back if they need you. And I actually just finished that in December, so a few months ago. And I left just because I felt that I had the opportunity to make a little more money doing something else, which clearly I was right. And that's why.
Yeah, I left because it's amazing this every country, and it's awesome to meet people. Like I met Randy Chavez, greatest dude in the world. You know, you you form some amazing relationships, but it's very restricting. You know, you got to follow super guidelines, and sometimes you don't get the best people you got to talk to and above you and whatnot. So it's very restricting in ways too. And you can make way more money once you get out of the military. So by staying in, you're kind of limiting yourself. So you got to do your 4 or 6 years or your 8 years, and then you should, branch out unless you really, really like it. I could stay in, but I feel like I can grow better if once we left, and I am. So
Do you get a pension like after you leave? I mean.
we don't know. You got to be in 20 years, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to the real questions here, the warm-up question. I'm still at the warm-up questions. Do you have a secret talent, Arya?
Ooh, secret talents.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a
You dance, you play any instrument?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do actually. It's not really serious. I talk about it a little bit. But I played violin for 7 years, and then when I got out, and that was just in school. When I got out of school, I taught myself piano. So I'm pretty good at those things. Just I don't really get to exercise them a lot, but yeah, I'm pretty good at those.
Okay. What type of music do you listen to, Real Randy Chavez? What kind of music?
When I was younger, it was still like, I guess, pop punk, like Avril Lavigne and Green Day and Blink-182. But I also really love classical music. Classical music, like listening to it in the rain or whether you're a little tipsy, it's really good. I love it.
How about you, Arya? What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to pretty much anything that's like American top 40. If you listen to American, like all the pop songs or the ones that are super popular, but yeah, that has a good beat, so it can go from like pop to R&B to rap to, so yeah. I do like the Caribbean music and stuff too. That's great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. If you could invent a holiday, Arya, what would it be?
The Arya holiday. No. Create a holiday. I think we have a lot of holidays in the year. We do have a holiday. I'm originally from Wisconsin, and there is a holiday called Sweetest Day that nobody knows about, and I thought it was like a nationwide holiday, and apparently it's not. It's only in the Midwest, I think. It's like a second Valentine's Day, and I think it's in March or something, or October. I think it's in October. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of enjoy that holiday.
Okay, how about you, Real Randy Chavez?
I don't know if this is an official holiday or if it's just like a Hallmark thing, but I think there should be at least one day, or probably a little bit more than that, but at least one day just dedicated to your pets. And you're just like, hey, we're all just going to do whatever the pet wants to do, whatever the favorite toy is, favorite meal, and do that. I think that'd be fun.
Will it be fun if there are holidays also on Earth too?
Ooh, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I can't wait for people to start making stuff up. That'd be fantastic.
Like should make a Randy holiday.
Like Earth 2 holiday, like all the players, the users must be inside that inside the game, and they get something out of it because
it'll probably be the inception date of Earth 2, whenever it was, November 1st or something like that. That'll probably be known as one of the first holidays, I think.
Exactly. All right. If you could be the best in the world at something, Arya, what would it be?
It's best in the world. I would say either like maybe football, because that's very Yeah, very it's very popular in America. And or like or a professional wheelman. So those getaway videos where you're like swerving around the car and you're Fast and Furious. Like one of those two things would be super cool. In my opinion.
Okay. You're very, very tough. How about you, Real Randy Chavez?
I think it would be to have the best language skills in the world, so that this way I could communicate with maybe the person that speaks the most, maybe knows like 10 languages, like fluently. So I could have conversations with so many different people and cultures. And I think that'd be really useful.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. What's the weirdest thing you wanted to be when you grew up, Real Randy?
I wanted to be a lion tamer until I was 7.
Why so?
I don't know. I just thought they were cool. You got to be around lions and you carried a chair, and it was weird. And I told everyone else thought it was weird. And eventually I was like, okay, I won't be that.
That's really weird. How about you, Arya?
I remember when I was like a kid, when I was like 6 or something like that, or 5, like I wanted to be a lawyer for some reason. I always had big ambitions. And I was like, I want to be a lawyer, make all that money. And this is what I wanted. I wanted a monster truck because I was a kid and monster trucks were awesome.
Yeah.
So I wanted a monster truck with a cell phone in it.
Oh,
It's exactly that. Back when I was a kid, cell phones weren't fluent like everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, Arya, if you had to eat the same meal at least once a day, what would it be? Like for the rest of your life, you have to eat this meal at least once a day.
I would say, see, I do love like lobster and steak and stuff like that, but once a day for the rest of my life, I would say just plain boneless chicken, skinless chicken breasts. It's good for the body. You got protein. You can get strong. And I did that when I was in Kuwait for like 6 months. I never got sick of it. So that's what I think I'll pick that.
All right. When you how long have you been eating chicken when you were in Kuwait?
I was eating that probably like maybe once or twice a day, and I was out there for like 6 months.
Wow.
So people come on, like, how are you eating that again? I'm like, oh, I don't mind it. And I got huge. I mean, I got smaller now. I should get huge again.
Yeah. How about you, Real Randy? What can you eat at least once a day for the rest of your life?
Well, just gonna piggyback on Steve's thing, where I was eating 18 eggs a day when I was in Kuwait, and because I went from 173 pounds to 196 by the end, mostly because of eggs and oatmeal and just overeating, which is great. But I think what I do now, just because if you see my videos, I try to live really well within my means. So I've been eating Taco Bell almost every day for the last 6 months. So, yeah, Taco Bell's good.
Oh yeah, you invest a lot, but you deprive of yourself of good food.
For now, yes.
Yeah.
While I'm young, I can get away with it. Yes.
Yeah, that's real hardcore discipline right there. What character from a movie or a book or a show do you relate to the most, and why? I'll start with you, Real Randy. It can be a movie or a book or a show.
I don't know if I relate to him, but if the words and the wisdom of Optimus Prime from the Transformers movies, he just always knows the right thing to do, and just the reasons behind what he does is like, oh, that's good. I didn't think of them, and he explains it in a way that's really well. So I like him a lot.
I would say if you watch, it's not so popular anymore, but it was big. Remember The Walking Dead with the zombie show or whatnot? Have you ever seen that? There's a character. He's kind of evil. He's called Negan, and he always carried a bat with him, and he was kind of like the villain. But I liked him so much because he's super sarcastic, and he always had the best lines. So you'd laugh every time he would say something. So while I keep my channel and myself super nice, like I probably come off as super kind and stuff, it's like I secretly have that sarcastic personality that I just love that. I'm like, he's funny.
Now, who would be that celebrity that you would choose or to 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 act as you in your biopic?
Oh, let's
If your
see.
life will be made into a movie, like who would you want to play Arya?
Oh, okay. I'll take that. Yeah. Uh, when I was when I was younger, people thought that would I the guy from Boy Meets World, I think his name was Ben Savage. Everybody said I looked like him when I was younger. But then since I grew up, then people said I kind of looked like Lucas Black. He was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. And then so say I kind of look like him a little bit.
Mm.
But then also, so either one of those two or maybe Jason Statham, because I kind of have the same hair as him. Losing my hair, I got
Yeah. Is this the first time you did that? You took off your
yes, the hat reveal right here.
How about you, Real Randy?
I would say if he can get back into shape again, Taylor Lautner, the guy that plays the wolf guy from Twilight. He's really good looking, and he's really tan like me. So yes, probably him.
I thought of Aquaman. Who's that guy? Who's that celebrity?
Oh yes,
The
yeah.
big
I
guy?
guess nowadays he's got the long hair, the beard. I forget his name.
Hugh Jackman.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is also
Yeah.
Or who's that guy? Who's that guy from the movie Con Air?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage probably
Yeah.
can do you also.
That'd be great.
Especially the way you're like your gestures. I can see that. If you were arrested, what would it be for? Real Randy Chavez.
Probably assault. I used to box, so I just yeah.
Yeah, okay. How about you? How about you, Arya?
Assault. That's awesome. If I got arrested, yeah, it'd probably be maybe probably that if I'm like protecting somebody. I'm not really like a person that get into crime that much.
Yeah.
So it'd be like protecting somebody, one of my friends or something, or maybe I'll get into like a giant, heist, or trying to get $1 million or something. Like, oh, this is a ironclad way where you can steal money. And I don't know. I'm going into movies too much.
If being so positive about Earth 2 is a crime, probably I'll be arrested for that.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, right. Right now, I'll ask you about we have talked about your achievements, and somehow we are getting to know more of you guys. Why you think like that? Your train of thoughts. Now, what have you failed at, Arya? With all these achievements, what have you failed at?
That's a good question. This is what it is. This is what I figured out. When I was in the Air Force, I originally started as an intel analyst. So I was I was a Jack Bauer. If you ever watched 24, it's a big show in America.
Okay.
It was, I was a giant intel analyst, but it was very hard. It was a very hard career field, and I just couldn't get it. I tried hard. I tried studying for hours and weeks and I think maybe I could have gone through it, but it was just taking a toll on my mental health. So I cross-trained into a different field, and then that's where I met Randy. So I didn't get through Intel, so that's a big failure for me. But I don't think I would have liked it anyway, because I know people who like got through it and they didn't like their lives. So maybe it was a blessing. Who knows?
Yeah, but I think you're the type of person who just goes over these hurdles, these challenges, and move forward. Because when I asked you that question, it took time for you to think about that failure. So you're the type that does not, nourish that failure and you move forward. When you stumble, you get up right away.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's very good. That's very nice. How about your Real Randy Chavez?
It was 2019 in one of the last places I was living. and I was living with one of my best friends and his daughter. We shared like the downstairs part of it, and she had usually a bunch of friends over all the time, and there was this guy that she was friends with, Thomas, who I guess his parents were really down on. He didn't really get along with. He didn't really have a good positive male influence in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me to go paintballing one day. I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And then on the day of, I had just said like, hey, I'm not feeling so well. Can we reschedule? And he was cool about it, but I didn't want to do it because I wanted to drink. And me telling this like kid that I made a promise to, like 15 years old, like that I promised to do something with him, and then I didn't do it. And I did that to drink. That was a low point. I did not feel good. I still think about that all the time. That was probably a big one.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the Earth 2 questions. Now,
All right,
these questions are, some of them are very basic because I know, in essence, a lot of us are just beginners here. You guys watching, technically, we are pioneers here. So would like to ask our special guests for today. And I just want to congratulate you, Arya, and Real Randy Chavez, because I'm sure you'll be watching this 5 years, 10 years from now, and you will be like the billionaires in Earth 2. So if you're watching this 5 years, 10 years from now, then probably you'll still be laughing at my English. But I just like to congratulate you both in advance and myself for getting in early. And our kids will be very happy about this. Do you have a kid, Real Randy? No.
I don't think so. If I do, I don't know about
it. Okay, this is not in order, so randomly I'll ask the questions that first comes into my head. Okay, why should people, Arya, trust Earth 2? Why should they trust it?
I would say they trust it because
I guess just to piggyback on that is to look at the other thing.